We've been saying, rah, 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 it's going to be all of that in a bag of chips, but guess what? We are in it now. And I'm telling you, you might as well strap your seatbelts on. You're going to go for a major, major ride. I'm telling you, we've been so excited about the West Coast Regional. We've been talking to everybody we can find to talk about it. I really believe, we have a lot of things that we do in Team Effort International and 10. And many of those things that we do are training. We do conventions, we do these kind of things. We're going to have our launch in November, right? Huh? Right? That's right. We're having our launch in November. But guess what? I really believe the key to launching your business, getting the tools that you need to build and build fast, is going to be in this weekend. Huh? Would you agree?
Yep.
I'm telling you, we have so many different lineups for you. People who are going to really just tell their stories and tell how they're building the business and tell the tools that they're using to be successful. And I'm telling you, this is a meeting that everybody in your downline, you want to be in. You want to take copious notes. You want to be sure that you document everything you can document, because you know what? When you get back on Monday, people are going to be asking you what happened. And you're going to have to be able to explain it. Now, I don't know how you're going to be able to explain it, because it's going to be so much. Now, listen, when you talk about game time, it's fun time. There's going to be so many things that's going on that you really it's going to be very, very high paced, and the speed is going to be tremendous. So we're excited to get started with our West Coast Regional training. And we're not going to delay it any longer, because we really want you guys to be the full benefit of the hours that we have set aside for this. All right? Are you ready? Yeah. Well, I want you to do this with me. I want you to stand to your feet. Come on, get on your feet. I want you to stand to your feet, and I want you to help me to welcome the CEO and founders of Team Effort International, My Video Talk, and our new division, Team Effort Network, Mel and Amy Gill. Give them a hand.
You guys ready? Mel's ready. Go ahead, babe.
So she just throws me out here, right? No, you're in for a fantastic day. Welcome, everybody. This is unbelievable. History in the making. The very first West Coast Regional for 10. And you'll be able to say for years and years to come, I was there. And today you are here. I'll tell you what, when I walked in the room, I immediately felt the energy, like, oh my goodness. And I don't know how much dancing and excitement that was going on before I arrived, but you guys elevated the entire room. And I'll tell you what, that makes 99% of the difference for today. So appreciate you. Thank you. When we get an atmosphere of the right people in the right room, magical things can happen all around the world just from this room, and we're going to talk all about that. It's going to be a fun day. Here's a little tip, though, before we get started, because we have the next speaker coming up. I'll be coming up here in just a few more minutes. John Peavy, I understand, had a family emergency. Is that correct, Pastor Dale? Yeah. Okay, so our LCQ qualifier, everybody know what an LCQ is?
Yeah.
All right. John Peavy was supposed to be the first speaker, but we'll definitely get him here at the next training event, and he'll be touring around and stuff like that. Unbelievable gentleman. He's qualified LCQ. If you don't know what LCQ is... You know what LCQ? Yes. If you're down with LCQ, right? Okay. LCQ is right outside these doors. Does anybody know what color they saw outside these doors? Red. and a beautiful, beautiful sapphire dark blue. You guys see that? All right. So if you haven't seen it yet, outside the doors, you're going to see red LCQ, dark sapphire, blue LCQ. It's unbelievable. And this is just our first West Coast Regional. So we'll talk a lot about that as well. But one big tip, one big tip, because this is what I did, this is what Amy did when we started this at 21 years old and 19. And I'll say it slowly because I don't want people to think I'm still 21 and 19, all right? All right, so 21 and 19, when we started this, big thing that we learned from the beginning, okay, because this is a training event, the West Coast Regional Training Event, write everything down, okay? And here's what you got to do. Don't commit it to memory. And I don't mean write sentence by sentence by sentence. You'll drive yourself nuts. I'm not talking about that. But write the bullet points down, okay? Meaning that if you hear something hot, write the bullet point down. You hear nothing hot, write the bullet point down. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to have fun tonight. Some of you are going to be at that are qualified for the VIP party, right? All right. And you're going to enjoy your Sunday tomorrow. You're going to have a great weekend. By Monday morning, you might not remember everything, right? Because you've been partying all weekend. However, when you pull out the bullet points, you'll be like, oh, remember that? Oh, remember when Pastor Dale said this? Oh, remember this? Oh, remember when Memo said that? Oh my gosh, Precy highlighted it with this. All those are going to come back to your mind when you read those bullets Monday morning, and you're going to remember the memories of this event, and you're going to take it to the next level to share with your team. The thousands of people that are not in this room at this moment, they need to hear all about it Monday morning. So do yourself a favor, do your team a favor, and write down the bullet point notes. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, we're going to do that. Well, Pastor Dale, I'm not going to take too much more time. Amy, do you want to share a couple more things?
All right. Has anyone ever heard the term history in the making?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to give you a sneak hint. You guys are here for a West Coast Regional Training Event, right? It's a training day, right? Well, what if in addition to that, some special announcements were made today? Was there anybody that came to this event expecting announcements? No, right? This was a training day. Well, you guys, I have to tell you, I'm standing on the stage. I've never been more excited in pretty much probably the 2+ decades we've been in this industry. There are some announcements today that we are so excited is an understatement, passionate maybe is a bigger word. I see Rose kind of looking, I see Memo's face. Stuff that some of you, actually I don't believe none of you have gotten a hint, even some of the leaders we're working closely with. Even Robert Hicken doesn't know what's going on, everyone, so don't beat him up in a corner at the lunch break. I can tell you this, we're doing a lunch break fast, so what you do is, at the lunch break, we'll double time because some of the special announcements we're saving for after lunch, because it's going to wake you up, because normally, historically, at a training event, any event, people get sleepy from lunch, right? Well, we've got some stuff right after lunch that will knock your socks off. But so just get ready. We are so pumped up. And so when we say history in the making, everybody that's in this room, please mark this day down because, 10, we're just getting started. So what we've done so far during this pre-launch phase is nothing. We call it the tip of the iceberg. So I'm very excited and proud to be with everybody in this room here because the stuff that we're going to be talking about, sharing, and not just the announcements, because that's one amazing, exciting side of it, but more importantly, with that is all the training and information and knowledge that you take away, because you can have everything, but you got to have all the pieces of the puzzle together. And so we've got that. And so this really will be a day in history. And I'm not just saying that, history in the making today. So we're just getting started with 10, everybody. Welcome to August 10th.
Well, you can be seated. That sounds to me like after lunch, we're not going to have a problem with B12. You don't have to worry about spraying B12 after lunch. It sounds like it's already going to be fire in the house, all right? So we're really excited. As Mel said, my friend John Peavy from Sacramento, he is here. He and his wife are here, and they have to turn around and go back home. They have a family emergency. So keep them lifted in your prayers. And he so wanted to be here. He was so apologetic. He really knew that this was going to be a meeting that he wanted to be at. But just something pressing came up that they had to go back home. So keep them lifted up. But I tell you what, We have a lineup of great speakers today, and I'm really excited about sharing this person who's coming up now, because this person is somebody that you hear a lot about. You hear him on the calls a lot, and she is my personally sponsored business partner. I mean, she has sponsored me into this business, and we've been running and building together. I want you all to lift your hands for my friend, my business partner, Pastor Denise McDowell.
Training day, guys. Okay, this is training. Oh, you have your pens and paper ready. Let the training begin. Well, welcome to the big event for Team Effort Network. You all are loved and appreciated. And I want to send out great love on behalf of you all to Mel and Amy Gill. We have to thank them, right? 23 years ago, yes. We have to. Because 23 years ago, they saw something and they believed. And they didn't give up on their dream, did they? They didn't quit. And can you imagine how much has come against them? Can you only imagine? But look at what they have done for every one of us in here. Look at the opportunities and the doors that's been placed before us. So we are grateful. Mel and Amy Gill, we love you. Yes. Love you, friend. Thank you for dreaming big. You didn't just dream little, you dream big. But what I want to say, guys, what I want to talk about today is, what do problems reveal on the course to success? Have you run into any problems so far in your business? Have you had some problems so far? Some challenges? Because there's a reason for that. But what I want to say to each and every one of you here, you're here because there's a purpose. There's something within you. There's something that you believe strongly about 10. There's something that you believe within yourself, and you know that this is a channel to get it done. You've been wanting, and you've been hoping, you've been dreaming, and you've been visualizing something bigger in life, right? And you know it's possible, and you know it's right around the corner. Don't you sense it's right there? It's right there. And give yourself a high five for not quitting. That's right. Give yourself a hand. Because the biggest part of winning is never quitting. You can't quit. But you're going to be faced with problems. So that's what I'm going to touch a little bit on today. What do problems reveal on your course to success? We need them to make us stronger. But I also want to talk about the difference and the different groups of leaders, the different groups of people. And there's a 3% of the population that are considered leaders. Only 3%. That's a small percentage, isn't it? But guess what? That 3% is in this room. That's right. That 3% is in this room. One thing about leaders, listen to this very closely. One thing about leaders are great problem solvers. So somewhere along the line, you all learned how to solve a few problems, didn't you? Didn't you? You learned how to do that. And problems are described as events and conflicts that cause pain and suffering. That's what problems are. They cause pain and they cause suffering. And as a leader, you're saying, as a leader, by you choosing to be here today, you're saying, I'm able to handle more pain and more suffering than the 87% that are followers and the 10% that are destroyers. That's what you're saying. You're saying, I can handle that. I can do that. And some people say, no, they back away. They run away from problems. They can't handle it. They're not the 3% leaders. But 3% leaders say, okay, I can handle that. Look at Rose. I think Rose can handle anything that's thrown at her. Yeah, I know she can. Look at Memo. Look at Memo. Brand new baby and a brand new car. You think he's not handling stuff? Okay. That boy is handling some things. And look at Miss Prissy with her Prissy self. She is handling stuff, aren't you, Miss Prissy? She is saying problems come her way, but guess what? She's a 3% leader. She can handle the problems, and she'll work it out for her team. So know that already. You have already decided, I can handle more pain
and more suffering than an average person. That's what being a leader is. So Team Effort International have goals for us all. And some of the goals in Team Effort International is that we walk in financial freedom. That's a good goal to have, isn't it? We want to walk in financial freedom. We want to have good health. You have to have good health. And we want our family and our friends to have good health. And we want to enjoy our family and our friends, right? Memo has a brand new baby. He wants to watch that baby grow every minute that he can. He doesn't want a 9 to 5 pulling him away from being able to see every moment of that baby's life, right? And we want the same thing. We want a better way of living. And that's what Team Effort International is offering, a better way of living, if you choose, because it is a choice, if you choose, okay? So, now some need a whole lot of finances, and some need just a little bit. But the goal for the course is the same. The goal is the same, whether you want a little bit of finances or a lot. The course is still the same. One thing for sure, if you have a goal, if you have a dream or a vision, one thing you can be guaranteed, problems are part of the recipe. Problems are part. So if you run into a problem, that means you're right on course. If you don't have any problems, you're on the wrong course. You need to get off of it. If life is too easy, you are on the wrong road. Something's wrong, right? So, why so many problems? Why problems? And where do they come from? And what do they reveal? And I want you to write this down. One thing about problems, they reveal our goals. When you are working towards a goal and a roadblock comes up to hinder you, that's called a problem. You're doing pretty good, the day's going pretty good, there's a problem. Something's in the way. It must be handled. It can't be ignored. It can't be ignored. But it's strengthening you as you're faced with a problem, and as you take that problem head on, guess what it's going to do? It's going to make you stronger for the next one. And guess what? It's going to help you to help your team to be stronger. So when your team comes to you crying, everybody's telling me no, and I can't get anyone to sign up, you say, good. They're telling you no. That's good. How do you feel? I feel bad. What are you going to do about it? What, I'm supposed to do something about it? Of course you are. What are you going to let that little no hinder you? How many letters are in yes? Are you going to settle for just 2? You keep going until you get to 3, right? You don't settle for no. But know that it comes there for a problem. How are you going to deal with it once it hits you in your face? Are you going to quit? Are you a quitter? Are you going to cry to your upline and say, nobody's listening to me? You haven't even talked to half the world. You only talk to a few people around the corner. Get outside your borders. Get bold. Go talk to people beyond your borders. There's a lot out there that's going to say yes. Dr. Oz says 100 million Americans are vitamin D deficient. 100 million? Can we get at least 1,000? If it's that many out there, okay? Other things may come up as far as problems. When other things come up that doesn't hinder your goal, then it's not a problem. But if it hinders your goal, it is a problem and it's going to get your attention. Okay? One thing about problems and goals, they will reveal something about you. And this is what I want you to write down, okay? This is a good way to self-examine your leadership. Problems. Problems reveal our goals. If you don't have any problems, then maybe you don't have any goals. Okay? If you realize you're going every week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, how's everything? Oh, no problem. Oh, no problem. Everything's going good. There's nothing going on. You don't have any goals. And you don't have anything set for life, and you're not going anywhere. And that, you're going to be in that same position next year. Okay? Now listen to this. Goals reveal your mentors. Goals reveal your mentors. You will soon learn who you look up to, and you can learn a lot about a person by who they choose to look up to. Who are your team members, and who are you looking up to in this industry of where you are now? Who is your mentor? I know who my mentor is. There are some leaders who are all about the money. You ever run into somebody in network marketing, they're just all about the money. Money, 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 money. It's not all about the money. We had a beautiful meeting last night with Terry Whitener and Nakisha, I keep trying to rename her. Nakisha and Rose. We had a beautiful meeting last night. And we've discovered it's really about the relationships that we are building. Long, lasting, loving relationships. It's not, don't try to pull me to make money. I'm not just in it for the money. I'm sorry, wrong person. I'm in it for these loving relationships of people I'm meeting from around the world. I want to stay connected with you. I want to learn about you and your children, and I want you to learn about me. And I want us to forever be friends. I don't want money to be the reason we can no longer be friends. I don't want you trying to snatch me from this company, and if I don't go to the next one, now you don't want to be my friend. Is that the type of mentor you're looking up to? No team spirit at all. And then there are some who really know about team spirit, they know about building. They're in it for the long run. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So goals reveal your mentors, okay? Mentors reveal your character. Mentors reveal your character. You can learn about a person who they choose as a mentor. And if you choose to let one who is all about the money to mentor you versus the one who is a team builder, that's saying a lot about your character, right? Character reveals your wisdom. Character reveals your wisdom. There is a worldly wisdom and there is a spiritual wisdom. The words that come out of my mouth reveals which wisdom you possess. One is full of flattery and deceit, and the other one is full of strength and power. Your character reveals your wisdom. Wisdom defines your relationships. Wisdom defines your relationships. And we all know birds of a feather do what?
Stick together.
Flock together. Relationships reveal your inner self-worth. Your inner self-worth. How you feel about yourself. And believe it or not, how you see yourself is exactly how others see you. Did you know that? How you see yourself is exactly how others see you. And I'm coming to a close here. Your inner self-worth reveals your attitude. What kind of attitude do you have? Because a good attitude brings good success. Right? Good attitude, good success every time. A bad attitude brings what? What kind of success? Bad. It brings bad success. That's simple to know, right? So what kind of relationships are you keeping? Who's feeding you wisdom? Is it worldly wisdom? Is it spiritual wisdom? Your attitude reveals your access. What do you have access to? That's something? What things have you been given access to? When were you given access to participate, or why are you given access to participate and others are not? Could it be your attitude? And a good attitude is contagious, isn't it? People want to be around those who have a good attitude versus those who have a bad attitude. And last but not least, and I'm going to close out right here, your access, what you have access to, affects your favor. And I'm telling you, favor is worth more than $1 million. If you have favor, you have it all. So choose, and on this course to greatness, there will be problems, but face them head on. Know that you're going to grow from them, and choose wisely who you want to mentor you on your course to success. Okay? You ready? Let's go!
All right. You don't have any problems. You don't have any goals. Listen. If it doesn't change you, it doesn't challenge you. And that's what she's telling you. In order to be changed, you're going to have some challenges, because you can't even spell challenge without change. And so if it doesn't change you, it will not challenge you. So we want you to stretch, all right? Well, I'm going to turn your eyes to the projector here. We're going to project a great video we want you to look at. And after this video, we're going to hear from our founder, our CEO, Mel Gill, all right? Have a look at the video.
Thanks, everybody. Well, I had to move that out of the way because I don't like anything standing between me and you, right? This, unbelievable. I can't speak about how much of an unbelievable day this is because as now we've celebrated over 10 years of running the company. October of 2012 was 10 full years, and here we go on to the next. And it's just unbelievable what we've seen and what events can do for people. And that's why we're here today. Is, you know, as your belief grows, as the power of understanding what we have grows, everything goes to the next level. So how many people are part-time in this business? Okay, good. Because this is an event that's designed to take you full-time very quickly. And I've seen it over and over and over again, not just in 10 years of running the company and have our distributors that went from part-time to full-time, but just being a network marketing distributor, okay? And how many people are interested in actually going big time with the company? Okay. Here I'm gonna, and that's good. You raise your hands. You guys are a very responsive room, and that's great. But I'm gonna give you a couple of tips, because when you go home and you have your TTPs, everybody knows what a TTP is? Okay? Those are your local events. And they can be as small as 2 or 3 people in your home to as large as hundreds of people in a hotel or office or whatever, right? Okay? There's 4 things that you got to do. And we're going to do them here today. And this is an easy way to get it, okay? You want to say wow. Wow. Okay. You hear that guy next door? Yeah. He's kind of loud. Yeah. And so I was sitting in the back like, what's going on next door? That guy's so loud, right? And I'm trying to hear Pastor Denise talk. So I don't know if we're going to be able to quiet him down, but I want him, when he gets off the stage, to think, what's going on next door? I think he just heard that. All right. So you guys already beat me to the second thing I was going to tell you. Besides saying wow, okay, is when you clap, okay, and this is not just here, at every event, at your TTPs, everywhere you go, okay, you clap like you just won $50 million. And remind me later to tell you about, you're only going to get $25 million up front. Where are you going to get the other $25 million from, okay? Don't let me forget that part of the training. Don't let me forget that part of the training. Because here's the problem with not having notes. And I tried to do a PowerPoint for this event. But I can't do a PowerPoint. So all you're going to get is from my heart and my mind. So when I get carried away talking about stuff, I might forget other stuff, so you got to keep me on track, right? So you remind me, say, Mel, what about the other $25 million? And do that after lunch maybe. But all right. So now you know how to clap, right? You know how to say wow. Right? The other thing you want to do is you want to raise your hand. The other thing you want to do is nod your head. So what are the 4 things? Wow. Clap like 50 million. Raise your hand. Got it? Every event, every TTP, you got to do these 4 things. Because here's what's magical. Here's what's magical. Okay, everybody wants to be a part of something that's powerful, exciting, and it's going places. Okay, and they need to know when your TTP has 7 people in the room. You know, the room needs to feel like that energy of 7,000 people. You got what I'm saying? Because you'll have TTPs that will have 7. If it's brand new and they're starting in Nebraska. Nebraska has their first TTP in Nebraska. There might be 8 people at the first TTP, right? 6 months later, there'll be 800. But you know what I'm saying? It starts somewhere, but you have to start off the launch pad, boom, right? So that type of energy and excitement is what's going to let those guys know that we're louder than them, okay? Good? All right. I'm humbled today. This is an incredible room. But the most important person in the room just entered, and I'm very humbled to have him in the room here, and that's my father. Stand up there.
Friday, can't be okay. Come on, y'all.
All right.
Check it out, y'all.
And you will be hearing from my father a little bit later in words of wisdom. And I'll tell you this, around the world, he just came back from the Philippines. And the Philippines, they said the same thing that they said 3 weeks earlier when he was in Thailand. And Thailand said the same thing a month earlier what Dubai said. And they were like, this man has changed my life. And so I have to tell you, there's people in this room that'll tell you the same thing, is that when Sam said this, and he told me this, and he helped me set my goals, and he did this. So between now and the rest of the afternoon, if it's at the lunch breaks, if it's at the tea breaks, if it's right after, shake hands with my dad and just get to know him. Because at some event, he's going to share with you something powerful of his 76 years that is going to move you. It's going to move you. I mean, I meet people, you know, a few weeks ago when I was in Thailand, and they shake my hand. They say, man, your dad told me this. So you got to get part of that, because he's been doing that for so long now. But, you know, it's very important here that everybody understands the mission and the vision of the company, okay? Because you have to know, number one, okay, is I don't build a business from back here, okay? Right? And I don't want you to build a business from back here. And some of you are doing that. You're a little bit hesitant, you're a little bit shy, you're a little bit scared, you don't know, you're not sure about your future, right? Okay? You've got to step all the way up to the line, right? And I do this all around the world, is I don't stand on the stage here or there. I'm all right at that edge of the stage, and people say, oh my gosh, you look like you're going to fall off. You look like, oh my God, what is that? I said, no. I've been decades at right here, okay? It's right here. And the stance of that, or the meaning of that to me, and hopefully, you know, you're going to get it from this weekend, is I'm all in, okay? All in. And my goal for you and your business is for you to say what? All in. You gotta say it louder than that guy. All in. All in, okay? You can't build your business back here. So we're gonna get you today to be just like I am about this business, and that's all in. And that's because I'm passionate about what we've got here. And the reason I'm passionate about, we made the millions long ago, okay? So it's not about the money anymore. It's about what we do around the world to change people's lives, okay? Now let me tell you this. Okay, how many products do we have right now? 4. Powerful, unbelievable products. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay? Unbelievable. And might be a 5th. Amy Gill didn't even hear me say that. She'd be like choking me right now. So after lunch, maybe we'll talk about something there. I don't know. Just kidding. Relax. But what's our 5th product? Or actually, I should ask you this. Out of the 4 products, which is the best product?
All of them.
Metabolift, yeah? Dreamtime.
All of them.
B-Blast, D3licious. Alright, everybody's got their favorite, right? Okay. I have to tell you, we've got the best products. We've got unbelievable D product, we've got all this great stuff, right? We've got the best products. But our number 1 product that this company has is the product of changing people's lives. Yeah. Okay? You got to get that in your head, okay? Because that right there is unbelievable. That right there is unbelievable. And so, in case we talk about the 5th product this afternoon, remember the 6th product, okay? And once we have the 6th product, remember the 7th product. And that is the product that people don't understand or think about here, and that's the product of changing people's lives. So when I talk about being passionate and my belief level in this business, is because somehow, some way, and I'll share with you the story here, the company got started back in 2002. And like any other business, any business in America, you have what? Ups and downs, right? But one thing I can point to is every single year, we had more people that changed lives than the previous year. And more people that changed lives than the previous year. And here 10 years later, we can point to people all around the world that have gone from part-time to full-time to big-time, and then put their kids through college because the company started in 2002. Because the company lasted till 2003, they bought their dream home. Because the company lasted till 2004 and celebrated their anniversary, they bought their new cars. Because the company lasted and went till 2007, they donated six-figure checks to their charities and their churches and their communities. Because the company started and went on to 2009, 2012, 2013, they've tremendously changed their family's financial future for generations. Okay? People that were desperate and homeless, sleeping on stairs, that were sharing that with me back when I was in the Philippines, okay? They today are rich, you know? Rich in their heart because they've been able to see where they've come from without a home and sleeping on steps to not just lavish mansions, but their families and communities have been tremendously enhanced, okay? So to me, that's the most important product that we have, is that we have a movement here that we can make a difference in people's lives. We can raise people up. We can raise people up. You heard Pastor Denise talking up here, right? Okay? About your goals and about your dreams, about your problems, about this and about that. You know what she's doing? She's raising you up. And where do you get that? Where we can raise people up. People have changed their lives just because they're here in Orange County today. Isn't that unbelievable? That's unbelievable. Right? Not money. I'm talking about so when we're talking about raising people up and changing people's lives, to me, that's unbelievable. To me, that's the vision of this company. To me, that's the mission of this company. And that's why when I say, okay, forget about the money, because, you get out of that, your mind gets out of that, you got to think about what else is there in life. What else is there in life? You have to have a purpose. You have to have a passion and passionate purpose. And that's what we're talking about here today, is get to the money, get your bills paid off. How many people got bills, all right? All right? My son jokes with me. He says, Dad, on stage, you tell everybody to cut up their credit cards, right? And but you have a credit card. And I said, son, that's because I got to show the write-off, But we do everything with cash, And the reason we do everything is cash is because we live our household just like we live this business. We've been debt-free since 2002 as a business, right? So that's not a $50 million clap. What does that mean for you? That's the security of this company and the security of this business, meaning that it doesn't matter if this happens and that happens and this happens and that happens. That doesn't bother because we're beyond that. You see what I'm saying? So this rumor in the field and this thing, or business, people say, what are you going to do? Sales are slow this week. I was like, this week? Are we in it for the week? Right? What about next week? Where are we going to be next month? Where are we going to be next year? Right? Because all the chips were against us in 2002, and people said you're not going to be there in 2003. So you got to think about where are we going to be next week, next month, next year, 5 years, 10 years. We just completed 10. Who's ready for the next 10? So here's what moves me and Amy every morning. Okay? What moves us and gets us out of bed and keeps us going is that next story, okay? And I'll tell you, when I go overseas to these different events, it makes me cry, man. You hear these stories, it's unbelievable. And I think to myself, if we didn't start this company, if we didn't do Payroll Wednesday, if we didn't deliver on the promise, that person's life would not change the way it's changed, right? That person would not have quit their job. My friend Arnell, I'll tell you his story real quick, okay? He works, or used to work, in construction in Dubai, okay? Construction here is serious work, I understand that, but let me tell you what it looks like in Dubai. The heat is hotter than Arizona and Vegas put together, I'll tell you that. 'Cause I've been there a few times, okay? That desert heat, right? When they say you can cook an egg on the cement, you can cook an egg on the cement, all right? I don't walk outside when I go out there. I stay in an air-conditioned hotel, go to the air-conditioned car, and the bodyguards escort me out of the air-conditioned into the other air-conditioned hotel to speak or whatever. I mean, it's too hot for anything, right? He's working there. They don't work 8-hour shifts. 12 to 16 hours in the heat, okay? And the boots they wear are not the boots we have here. I mean, construction guys have big boots, right? These are like cement blocks, right? In that blistering heat. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Working 12 to 16 hours a day, and his income, $800 a month. $800 a month, right? He came to this business with a sister company, right? Walked in the door, saw it, and said, I don't have the money. His sponsor said, find the money, otherwise you're going to be there 12 hours tomorrow, 16 hours the next day, in those same boots, you're never going to get out of it. Find the money. He borrowed, did whatever he could to get into the business, right? Got into the business. Today he's a 5-star with the company because he worked harder at this business than anything else he's done in his life. Right? What's a 5-star? I mean, they're like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a week. Okay? So, to go to over $5,000 a week from $800 a month, do you think his life has changed? He said, Mel, because of this company, I put my mother on an airplane for the first time in her life. She always dreamed about sitting in an airplane and flying. Okay? It's the business of changing people's lives. You guys get it? Okay? You understand what I'm saying? That's just one example. And I could go on story after story after story. But that's what gets me going. That's what gets me going, right? And you get to a point for your team where that gets you going. That gets you going. I just met my buddy Raj. He came to the Thailand event, you know. He's also a President's Club leader with the company, right? Okay? Raj is a great guy. I remember back in 2000, I think it was 2009 or 2010, right? And we were at the event. And he comes up to me. He comes up to me! And this is when the market was new over there in Dubai, right? 2009, it was new, right? Okay, out there in Dubai. It was like this, you know? Today there's hundreds of thousands of people just in that one market with the company. But it starts like this, right? Okay? And he comes up to me and he says, Mel, I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary. Okay? And I made $107,000 this year. And I was like, Raj, that's amazing. And this is at the break. You know, he's shaking my hand and saying, you know, thank you, this is a great event. And he said, I made $107,000 this year. And I was like, Raj, this is great. He said, I'm not here to tell you that. He said, you know, I still have my other job, you know, my other business, right? But he says, what I'm here to tell you is that my nephew has cancer, okay? And 13 years old, right? Okay? And he said, you know what, this is something I will never say on stage. I'll never say this on stage. But I want you to know this personally, Mel. I want you to know this personally, Mel. And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, can I, you know, getting a little bit to hear this. And he said the entire $107,000 I put towards the cancer treatment for my nephew. The entire money I earned for the first year of business, okay? And he said the whole thing. And then he says, I have to tell you that the chemotherapy and everything else for my nephew, it was successful. And, you know, this is a private conversation between me and Raj. And can you imagine? I mean, I'm even now telling you this story, I've got goosebumps and jitter, you know, in my back. That's the business. That's the business. You know? In my mind, when I get up in the morning, you know, I'm thinking to myself, man, if we didn't start the company in 2002 and keep it going in 2005 when things were tough in 2007, you know, that could not have been possible for Raj to give the $107,000 for the treatment. And so we've made a small difference, not just in Raj's life, the nephew, right? Okay? I mean, that to me is like, wow, it's magical. Because Raj needed his job, his other business, to run his life. This extra $107,000 was because he joined this company that he could do something good with. Okay? And we all have situations in our lives. Is there stuff that we can do good with the money? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Okay? People say to me all the time, you know, money's not everything, or, you know, this and this and this. Not having money's not everything either. Right? 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 But if you have a little bit of extra money, you have more choices. You have more freedom. You can do different things that make a difference, like my friend Raj did. Okay? Without the extra 107, he could not have done that. So to me to say money's not everything or money is everything in that situation, yes or no? There's no question about it. For Raj's nephew, 13 years old, that money made a huge difference. Okay? So what I'm going to teach you to do is I want you to get the fancy cars like my friend Memo, right? I want you to get the cool custom wardrobe. I want you to get the fat watch. I want you to put your kids through college. I want you to get the dream home. Because what I know what's going to happen then is your mind is going to expand. And you will find the best things to do with the money because you're a great person. And a great person goes even greater, right, with the money. And you can do even greater things. Human beings, we are God's highest form of creation. Yes or no? If that is true, because I'm looking at, the ants on that cement, and I'm looking at, the birds and things like that, somehow God put the human beings on, on this earth, highest form of creation. We need to go to our full potential to make a difference as we are here on earth. Yes? We are blessed. And family, we are blessed that we have been given an opportunity in our hands, right? But now we have to do something with this. Somehow, some way, somebody introduced us to this company and we are here. And we've been presented this in our hands. And it's a disservice to ourselves and our family and humanity that we don't take this and say, man, what can we do? Can we do something like my friend Arnell and get that dude out of that crazy construction job and put his mom on an airplane for the first time in her life? Okay? Can we do something like Raj and do what he did with his $107,000? Because we have this in our hands. Can we do that? That's what we, and I can tell you story after story after story because that's what keeps me going. That's what moves me to the next day, the next level, to say, hey, you know what? We're not big enough yet. People say, why did you start 10 when you've got this successful company called My Video Talk that's debt-free and does all this business around the world? 10 is because, guess what? Whatever we've done in 10 years with My Video Talk will look very small the next 10 years with 10. Okay? So get this. If we've got those stories with My Video Talk, this is what I tell my wife. This is why we start 10. If we've got a $600 billion industry, health, wellness, and nutrition, that's going to $1 trillion industry, okay? Since the industry is bigger, the potential is bigger, and whatever we've done in 10 years with My Video Talk, the next 10 years with 10, the new division, will make that look very small. But guess what? We've done a whole lot. And all those stories of people's lives changing, how many more faster, bigger, better stories can we create? Okay? That's a movement. That's a passion. That's a purpose on why we're here, is that we can have so many more, thousands of more of those success stories that make a difference in the community. You know why? Because there's people out there right now praying for an opportunity, praying to get out of their jobs. They're looking for a better way. They're sick and tired. They're fighting with their spouse. They're fighting with their children because they have that financial frustration. And we've got the solution. And now we can do it on the biggest platform in the history of network marketing, and that's the health, wellness, and nutrition industry, $1 trillion industry. Folks, it's an opportunity of unprecedented magnitude. You have a responsibility that you've been introduced to it, and it's in your hands right now, and you have to decide after today, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to go stay back here, or are you going to step right up here and say, I'm all in? I'm all in. Right? I'm all in. Right? Right here. Right here. You have to make that decision, and it comes with a commitment. It comes with a commitment, okay? Now, I have to tell you this. Who's brand new and has never heard me speak before? Wow, there's a lot of people there. That's good. Okay. I'm going to take you back for a few minutes, okay? Because you need to understand why we do what we do and why we're on to the next week no matter what, and the next month no matter what, and the next year no matter what, and that we're just getting started. We're just getting started. Yeah, we've been around 10 years, but we're just getting started. Yeah, we've changed thousands of people's lives, but we're just getting started. Yeah, we have millionaires around the world in our company today that earn over $100,000 every single month, but we're just getting started. We're just getting started. Here it is. November of 1989. November of 1989. A couple of young kids. One was 21, one was 19. All right, DJ, we'll keep my mic up. There you go. All right. Yeah, we need to be louder than those guys, DJs. All right. And they're not DJs. These guys, Darius, these guys are superstar sound engineers. Give them a hand. Because I got some text messages when I was at my hotel saying, when are you going to be down here? The party has already started. Right? So you guys were dancing and having a good time. So give it up for the sound engineers. All right. So let's go back to November 1989. I'll be done by midnight, don't worry. November 1989. A couple of young kids. 21, 19, right? 21 and 19. Okay? We got introduced to this industry. Here's how it happens. It's crazy how things happen in life, right? Okay? And it's all timing. It's all timing. And if you think about your personal story and how it rolls out, you're going to say, man, it is how things happen in life. For you, you know, that you're in this room today. And you'll be telling this story for yourself 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now. It's an amazing situation. So, my dad was in the restaurant business, and he had 3 popular restaurants in the San Francisco Bay Area, right? Okay? The general manager for the linen company that supplies the tablecloths, okay, he brought a videotape presentation. And how many are ready for the new DVD that's going to come out on 10? We're just getting started. We don't even have the DVD on 10 yet. It's amazing. All right. So, that's the presentation, right? Back then, does anybody old enough to remember what a videotape is? VCR, right? 1989, the most coolest popular thing was a VCR and a videotape, all right? You got your VCR, you got your videotape, all right? He brought the presentation to my dad, and he said, you know what? My wife is earning an extra $1,200 a month, part-time, right? And this might be a business that you're interested in. And what does my dad say? My dad is a stressed out, very busy business owner that's keeping the restaurants going, who's sweating, who's saying, $1,200, I'm not interested in $1,200. You know, I'm busy. You know, talk to you later, okay? He said, no, Sam, it's bigger than that. Sam, it's amazing what people are doing. My wife is just getting going, $1,200 a month. It's extra money in our household. My dad said, I don't need an extra $1,200. I got to concentrate on my restaurant. I'm a busy, you know, I'm a big businessman, and I've got to run this restaurant. And he said, okay, I'll tell you what. I've got a couple of broke kids. Some of you caught that. I got a couple of broke kids, right, at home, sitting on the couch, that got married way too early. She was only 18 and he was 20, right? And he got her pregnant in the first year of marriage, and they got a little baby who's 3 months old, and they're doing nothing with their lives. He said they could probably use $1,200, right? So my dad brought home the videotape. We plugged that sucker in, and we saw this dude, and you know, we're from California, so we don't hear too many people with this Texas drawl and this, you know, heavy, you know, style, Texas style accent. And so he's talking about $15,000 a month, you know, or whatever. And man, if you watch that videotape today, it's like cheesy. Back then, it's like, wow, you know, this is VCR, this is videotape. It's like this guy's talking about $15,000 a month. And you might have read his books now or heard of him, Mark Yarnell. So, so listening to him and his accent and everything else, I was like, what is this? You know, it was like, you know, we couldn't comprehend, you know, $15,000 a month, that was like $1 billion at that point to us. It was like, you know, whatever. And so Matt, he calls my dad up and said, "You guys watch the tape?" And he said, "Yeah, I gave it to my kids, you know." He said, "Tuesday night, you got to come down to this meeting, this event. You got to see what's happening. You got to see what's happening." And my dad's just thinking like, these kids are doing nothing. He says, okay, drags us down to the event, right? We walk into the room. This is November of 1989, right? Okay? Couple of broke kids, right? That walk into the room, and I've got my purple 80s sweater on. She's wearing the 80s. Amy's got her frizzy hair out to here, right? It's the 80s, right? And my dad's with us. And we walk into the room, and the first thing I notice is all these people dressed up in suits, and it's packed. I mean, packed, right? But they're all a bunch of old people. When you're 21 and 19, 30 is old. Right? 29, 30, 35, they're old. Right? You remember when you were 19, you were a kid, all right? There was nobody in the room that was like, 23 or something like that. So we're like, there's a bunch of old people in here. What are we doing here? We sat down and watched the presentation. Happened to be a Chinese guy, right? Chinese gentleman that had a very, very heavy accent that was speaking in front of the room. And he's doing all this stuff, and this and this and this and this, and 5 by 5. We don't understand a word he's saying. Because remember, we're a couple of kids from California. We barely understood the Texas guy on the videotape, and now you got this guy that speaks really, really, really broken English, right? Whatever, right? And we're trying to listen like, what is this? But what I do know is that the room was packed. People are standing on the sides, the back of the room. There's like, at one point, the firemen guys came in and said, there's a little bit of fire hazard. We need to remove 10 people. I mean, the place was jam-packed, right? And the next thing you know, Amy is totally not interested in this. She's just like, and if you guys get to know Amy, her attention span, I mean, it's just like, it better be important and engaging, otherwise she's over here somewhere doing something else. So Amy pulls out her, women, you got this, right? You have like a nail file, right? So she's sitting there doing the nail file like that, right? Not even paying attention to what this Chinese guy's saying. And I'm just looking all crooked, sitting there in my purple sweater. Like, what are these old people talking about, Can you imagine 29, 30-year-old, man? All right, so she's filing away, and I don't know, my dad's probably sleeping by then, he's like, whatever. Here's what happens. The guy says, blah, 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 $42,000 a month. And Amy's like filing away. Wow, if we ever made $42,000 a year, that would be unbelievable. And I said, honey, he said $42,000 a month. This is how things happen in life. Okay, I will never forget this. The nail file drops. Alright? I go to pick it up. She said $42,000 a month. She grabbed my leg here. And I go back on hers, and I start right into, I think, whatever those things are, tights or stockings or whatever they are, right? And I was like, $42,000 a month. And at that point, life has just changed, okay? Because what happened then is both of us sat at the edge of our seat. And we listened to the entire thing, the rest of the thing, and then the testimonials came up. And this guy was an accountant, and he stopped his job, and he's making $12,000 a month. This guy's a waiter, and now he's making $35,000 a month, and all this big money. And we saw people that were average folks. Some people were like attorneys and accountants in these high-end jobs, but there was plenty of I used to clean houses, I was a maid, or I was a waiter, or I was a plumber, or whatever. And testimonial after testimonial after testimonial, right? Okay, sitting on the edge of our seats. And we said, you know what? If Matt and his wife are making $1,200 a month, okay, and they can teach us how to do that, then maybe we have a chance to do something for this little 3-month-old baby, right? Okay? and we, needless to say, joined the opportunity, okay? And joined this thing called network marketing that we've never heard of, never heard of. And no sales background, no business background. The only background we had, we knew how to make a baby, okay? 3-month-old baby, that was it, right? Okay? But what we did have is this desire from the get-go, even though we didn't know what network marketing was, this desire for this 3-month-old baby. Like, what's her future now, right? We don't have jobs, we're not business people, we're not this, we're not that. What's her future, okay? And whether it was, you know, $42,000 a month, like she thought he said, or $42,000 a year, or $42,000 a month. I mean, we just, you know, $42,000 a year would have been the whole world to us, okay? So we started to show up at the trainings and say, let's learn this network marketing thing. And I was the shyest guy, forget about it, you know. I'm sitting back here, you know, really shy, because by nature, you guys don't understand this. By nature, my friend. By nature, we're going to have to talk louder than that guy. All right, let's give him a $50 million clap. $50 million! I can't believe I just did that 23 years later, because by nature I'm a very shy guy. Seriously, I mean, if you sit next to me on an airplane, some of these flights, like I go to Philippines or whatever, it's 15 hours, right? The guy next to me, I will not even say hello. And I won't even say hi. But it's not I'm being rude. I'm kind of just too shy to just start talking to that guy, right? The reason I'm not shy up here is because I'm in love with this, right? Here's a great way for you to understand this, okay? If you're shy like me, right? When you talk about your spouse, okay, you're not very shy. It's easy to, well, you might not like your spouse, so let's not do Let's do a better one. Get this. Parents, when you talk about your kids, your children, you're not shy. Yes? Yes or no? You're not shy. Right? Because why? You're passionate. Are you passionate about your children?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you love your children? Yes. So you're not shy, right? That's exactly this business for us. So I can get up here on stage and talk till midnight and have a good time. But I get off stage and we're sitting together, I'm not talking, I'm not the entertaining guy. You know, it's just only because I'm shy, not because I'm rude, it's just because I'm shy. That's my personality, okay? But where was I going with this? Why are we even talking about this? You guys got to keep me on track. What were we talking about?
We're talking about your desire and
You were at the meeting.
We had the meeting, and we joined network marketing, this thing. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Terry.
Terry. Nice to meet you, Terry. So Terry's going to keep me on track. So we joined this thing called network marketing. We didn't know what to do, no background, no this, no that, but we had the desire because we had the baby, right? That's what I was talking about. So with that desire, we showed up at the Saturday trainings. How many of you have local Saturday trainings? You've already started? Smart, smart. Those of you that haven't started one, start one. Because that's where it all comes together, that's where it all happens. You've got to have the Saturday trainings, right? And guess what's going to happen 6 months from now? There's going to be a ton of Saturday trainings all around the country. A year from now, ton of Saturday trainings. 2 years from now, lots and lots of Saturday trainings around the whole country. So start yours locally, and that's just, you know, get together, training, boom, boom, boom. At the training, we learned this business called network marketing. We started to learn what we need to do, right? But it took several trainings and big commitments and big events to finally get it, okay? And the business gets into you. And I have to tell you that, you know, you have to understand the growth of this business and where you're going with this business, right? And you have to get it into you. And because you're at an event like this, the West Coast Regional, that's for a seed to be planted. Something that Precy might say might get you to the next level. Something that Pastor Dale might say might just be the golden nugget that will take you to the next level. But if you were not here, you would not have got it. Here's what's going to happen by the end of the day. I'm going to tell you this right now. You're going to be telling your team, "You idiot! You should have been there." But I don't want you to go and do that. Don't make them feel bad. What you're going to do is you're going to take back that information and say, "You have no idea why you need to be there in Vegas in November. You're going to get everybody there, okay? Because that's what happens. Because your life is going to change this weekend, and you're going to know that your team needs to be there, okay? So, where was I again, Terry? The desire, and we came to the first training, and we didn't get it. We didn't get much. We kept going, but all of a sudden they had a big event, okay? And it was in Kansas City. And we're a couple of kids, you know, from the San Francisco Bay Area. Amy and I are both born in Oakland, California. You know, so you know, we had never been to a place called Kansas City. It was like, is that Kansas? You know, I mean, I've seen Wizard of Oz and Kansas, but I didn't know what's Kansas City, where's Kansas City, and they had a big event there, and they said, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. And I was like, no. I'm a California kid, we're in California, there's a Saturday training in California, we'll go to South California. They said, no. You haven't seen what's happening around the country. You haven't seen these leaders from the East Coast. You haven't felt this, you haven't done this. Somehow, some way, from our sponsor to our upline to everybody, they said, you gotta be here. I said, we don't even have money to go, you know? But they made it feel so important that we had to be there, right? That we ended up getting on the plane and going, and we got our ticket, you know? Beg, borrow, steal, whatever we had to do to get there, right? Okay? I can tell you this. It changed everything. Our whole business changed. Our whole business, everything changed from Kansas City. And then I look back, what if we had not gone? You know? Because here's what happened with that company. They went from us joining in November of 1989, within 24 months, they went from a small company at 50 million in sales to 500 million. Wow. Lots of people rode a wave. It's called momentum. There was a wave, right? As that thing shot from small to big. Guess what's going to happen with 10? It's going to go from small to big. It's going to go, yes, Guillermo. It's going to go from small to big. It's going to go from small to big. So there's a wave of growth to ride here. Now I can tell you this, there were some people in the room November of 1989 that even though the company went from 50 million to 500 million, and our team made a fortune, okay, they quit in December of 1989. They quit in January of 1990. They quit in March of 1990. You see what I'm saying? They quit, okay? And not everybody rode the wave, but the people that committed, they were part of the team, they were focused. They want to talk a lot about these little things. Okay, they knew what they had in their hands as this company went from small to large, changed their lives forever. Forever and ever. Okay? But they had to see it. They had to be a part of it. Now here's how difficult it was back then. Okay? We joined our first month. And we did everything our sponsor said. And everything our upline said. And we just did everything that we could from the Saturday trainings and learning. And we never missed an event. We went to every Tuesday night meeting, everything, being a part of it. You know, being a part of it. We worked hard. We got videotapes out there. Okay, guys that are too young, videotapes are like DVDs. So we got the presentation out there. They told us to follow up. They told us to do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Worked really hard. And we were able to do it full time because we didn't have a job. Right? No job, so we could do it full time. We just had the baby. And we worked really hard. And guess what? That company paid monthly. That's not normal, you know, back then. They didn't pay weekly, they paid monthly, right? So the check is coming. And we see all these testimonials and these people that are making $30,000 a month and $27,000 a month and all this big money. And I was like, man, our first check. This is it. Freedom, right? Network marketing, the promise, the big residual income, the big this and the big that, and all the testimonials. And if that guy can do it, we can do it. And Amy's working so hard, you know? She worked twice as hard as me because I didn't understand what I was doing and I was too shy. So I was just following her lead. But we got this team going. We got people in the business, you know. They're coming to the Saturday trainings. They're coming to the Tuesday night things. And it's our team, and we're going. And they're like, man, you guys are going to get your first check, da-da-da-da-da-da. And we're thinking and dreaming, because now we have a team, that, you know, someday we could make $10,000 a month. You know? And that was our first goal, because we saw it on the trainings. We saw people making that. And to us, at that time in our lives, if we ever made $10,000, we were billionaires. 19 and 21. I mean, even now in 2013, I think 19-year-old kid or 20 was like, wow, But back then in 1989, it was like, you are the king. I mean, I thought I was just dreaming 10,000 a month. Oh, man. I'll just be flying to Paris. I'll be, sleeping on the beach. I'll be, diamonds. 10,000 a month was the whole world. And if we ever got there, that's it. We're done. We're billionaires. Right? And so this check is here. And it arrived. And we were like, oh. Sit down, honey. Sit down, sit down, sit down. We're going to open this together. We're going to open it together, right? And so we open the check, and we're just like, shh. $16.84. $16.84. I looked at my wife, and I said, 30 days of the hardest work we've ever done. Right? Let's divide this into how many hours we put in. Slavery is more attractive. You know what I'm saying? It was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know what I said? This is a scam. They scammed us. They got us. Those movie actors with the testimonials, they got us. Right? They scammed us. I said, Dad, I thought Matt was your friend. My dad said he's been delivering tablecloths to the restaurant for years. I said, you better take his mask off. You better take $16.84, okay? We got ripped off. We got scammed. Oh my gosh. Call Matt. Call the upline. Call Yarnell. Call somebody. Call somebody. Right? Okay? And when we made the phone call, they said, you gotta understand, in the beginning, you're totally underpaid. But in the future, you're totally overpaid. And I was like, $16.84 is not underpaid. That's got to be illegal. You can't do that. You can't do that to people. You can't do that. Right? They said, you got to rank advance. I said, what rank? You got to become an executive. Okay? Because then you get paid on your team. Right now you're just getting paid on, your personal blah, blah, blah. Whatever the comp plan was, right? Okay? So I said, oh, jeez. We had a decision right then. Moments of decision. Remember I told you people had quit the first month after they joined, the second month, third month? We could have said, you know what? I'm not working another 30 days for another $16.84. No way. Right? Let me go back to feeding the baby. Right? I wouldn't change diapers, but I would feed the baby. I was a 21-year-old kid, man. I'm not touching that. All right. So the decision and the choice was to say, it's a scam, it's over, $16.84, I'm not working another 30 days, blah, blah, blah. Or, listen to our sponsor and believe that they're $1,200 a month, that was now at like $2,700, whatever they were at, $2,700 or whatever, and their upline, that's real, and I gotta follow the plan correctly, and they're telling me I gotta become an executive, we gotta rank advance, blah, 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 okay? Well, the second month, it grew to a couple of $100 for the month. And, well, we kept going, and we kept going. And 3 months into it, we became executive. And at that time, it was like $3,000 and something. And that was like, yeah, it's working. And the convention was coming up. And that time it was all Amy Gill. They didn't even know who Mel Gill is. They was like, they didn't know they got my name wrong every time, right? Because I wasn't, it was all her. And I was like, honey, we did it, you did it, we did it, right? The convention's coming up, and she's going as an executive. There's like 50,000 other executives, but they're an executive. But now we're making a few $1,000s. So a few more months of growing and everything else. the check went over 10. Okay? Then the party started, right? And then it's like you get it, and your belief, and your new guy that got 16 or 20 bucks or whatever, he's saying, no, don't pay attention, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're underpaid, you're going to get grossly overpaid. We got it, okay? And it kept going and going and going and going, right? Okay? And then there was a time where we took a little vacation, right? Okay? For a couple of weeks, Hawaii, right? You come back, but you don't have to come back right away. So we stayed a few more days. So it was like almost 3 weeks gone, right? But guess what? We came back and opened the mailbox. The check was bigger than when we left. And we had not worked for over 3 weeks. So now, you know, when you get $100,000 a month or something, you look at that and you say, okay, do I deserve this? Do I just got way overpaid because I didn't even show up for 3 weeks. Right? And Amy says, you remember $16.84? You deserve this. Then I got it, that you're grossly overpaid at that point. I got it then. I got the message, right? Okay? And I can tell you today that you have to have the long-term vision and understand this. Some of my friends, I've got a lot of friends at a company here that's in Southern California, up the freeway here, called Herbalife, right? Okay? Some of my friends have been there for 20 years, 30 years. I mean, since the 80s, right? Okay? They haven't worked in a long, long time. But they've got this mansion in Malibu, right? One of my buddies, he bought a $33 million home in Newport Coast, right up here, okay? All right? The money doesn't stop because the company keeps going. They're doing like $5 billion now, right? These guys that haven't worked for a long time, they do a little bit, they go to the events, they do this, they do that. They're not overpaid, but they're way paid. They deserve it. They deserve it because they helped that company start in the 80s, and now they've got something called residual income, where you work hard for a certain period of time, and the money never stops. Okay? Right? The second highest paid profession in the United States of America is network marketing. Okay? So, the highest paid is a sports professional, right? Okay? So unless you're sitting in this room right now and you're going to apply for the major leagues, and you're really good at football and you're going to apply for the 49ers, okay? Your other choice is network marketing. All right? You got it? So second highest paid profession in the world right now, if we have that in our hands, okay, and we have the opportunity to create this thing called residual income. Now, what's residual income? If you made a commercial, long after that you recorded that, you get paid over and over again. If you made a movie, long after you've made that movie, you get paid over and over again because it plays over and over again. If you created a song, you get royalties from the song, right? Okay, what's the only other way? Work for a certain period of time and get paid over and over and over again. There's a catch to that. You know what the catch is? I think we blew our friend out of the way, right? Alright, here's the catch. You know what the catch is? If the company doesn't last, where's your residual income? You see what I'm saying? If you're in this for residual income, you need a company that goes the distance. What I love about 10, it's brand new, it's ground floor, it's a startup, but it's got a 10-year history of staying in business, staying debt-free, growing every year profitable, and now it's going into the 11th and the 12th. Do you think if we made it past 10, we're going to make it past 11? Yeah. Of course. Right? 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay? Here's the bottom line. Why? Why? It's because we're beyond the money thing, and here's how the company's set up. It's beautiful the way it's set up. Somehow, some way, we got into this thing about, oh, Mel Gill's a CEO, and Amy Gill's an owner, and Sam Gill's an owner. We got actually pushed into this, and it's a long story, and we'll probably have to say it in Vegas. But here's how things can happen in life, is that we were pushed into a position to start this company and run this company because of circumstance. Some things in life happen out of necessity, like a good idea, you need to make money, right? Okay? And some things happen out of circumstance. This company was started out of circumstance. And it's an amazing story on how the company started out of circumstance. But I have to tell you this, is that if you look at this company now, and you look at the reasons why we do this and how passionate we are about this, is that 3-month-old baby, okay? That 3-month-old baby, last week, she turned 24 years old. Wow. Right? 24 years old. And it's unbelievable that for that 24-year-old young, beautiful lady, if we look back, okay, and I look back at as she was growing up, I'm not going to tell you something about today, but as she was growing up, 1st grade, 2nd grade, okay, back in the early 90s now, when she's in 2nd grade and stuff like that, okay, I was the father that would drop her off at school or pick her up from school. And back then, there was no dads doing that, because there was no work from home. There was no, everybody had to be at their 9 to 5 jobs, right? Okay? So when I would pick her up from school, what would all the other women that were picking up their children say? That's a broke husband who's unemployed, right? Because he does nothing better to do, right? But the precious thing to me was the fact that picking her up from school and taking her to her favorite place, which was Taco Bell, and we eat healthy, but back then, Taco Bell is like the favorite place. It wasn't there just to eat Taco Bell. It wasn't there just to eat Taco Bell. And this is before, cell phones were so popular. So it's like, we weren't having like cell phones in our pockets back then, right? Okay? But taking her to Taco Bell, and sometimes we would spend hours there. Hours. Not just eating. Talking, and she'd be crying about fighting, this happened at school, or my teacher said this, or laughing. Oh my gosh, this was so fun today, and I learned this, and I learned that, and just, before you know it, hours go by. Amy's at home wondering where we are. We don't have cell phones, so she's not calling. But let me tell you this, is that spending that quality time is because I didn't have to go to some job or have some boss or somebody tell me what to do. It's because we had this freedom called network marketing that would give us this residual income. If we wanted to spend 3 hours with our child, we could. Okay? Now, I'm no better parent than any other parent in this room. Okay? We're all equal as parents, right? But I can tell you this. Does it hurt to give a little bit more time to your children?
It helps.
Right? So to me, we can talk about money and millions of dollars and everything else that's happened in 23 years. The most precious thing to me is those moments of freedom and time that this business gave us. The ability to spend time with Emma, my daughter, and hours go by, and for me to be there as a father, and if I can be at the baseball games and the soccer and do this and do that, because my boss is not hounding me and I don't have a boss. You understand? That's called freedom. And to me, that's the most precious thing. And so if we can even have that, where parents can spend more time with their children, are we changing people's lives? Yeah. That's our number one product. That's our number one product. If we can spend more time with our children, that's our number one product. So, when we talk about this company, I don't know where I'm going, Terry. To go off track again and back on track, is we talked about growth, residual income. Where was it?
Freedom, network marketing.
Company going the distance.
Going to this.
The residual income. Okay, the catch. The catch is, you join a company and they're not here a year or two down the road. What happens to your residual income?
Goes away.
What happens to your freedom conversation?
Gone.
Spending time with your kids.
Gone.
Right? Okay? That's why this business has gone on 10 years. Because when we started the company, all the chips were against us. Because they said, you've never owned a company before. Right? You're not a businessman. You don't have investors. Where's your board of directors? Who's consulting you? Who's this? What's this? This, right? We had none of that. We have none of that. All we had, the heart and the attitude. Thank you, Rose. $50 million class. The heart and the attitude of saying, you know what? This is all we've done since we were kids. We don't know how to do anything else. We know what it is to be a distributor, to be an independent representative, right? Okay, that's all we had. And we said, okay, we have a company where we know the most important part of the company is not the products, not the compensation plan, not the big buildings. The most important part of the company, the leaders, the people, the distributors, right? Yeah. And if we create a product line that's the best for our team, if we create a compensation plan that's the best for our team, if we treat this how we would want to be treated as distributors and representatives, we could do the right thing for everybody. And that's how we started the business. Without the investors, without the board of directors, without the business experience, without all these things. So everybody said, you know what, you're not going to make it past your first year. Okay? Because 99.9% of these companies go out of business. They don't make it past the first year. There's always a new deal starting up. A new vitamin, new juice, new pill, new internet company, new this, new that, everything, right? 99% do not make it past their first year. So guess what happens? We had this recipe. Thanks, Dale. It's called the family recipe, right? And it's my wife, me, my dad. No board of directors, no investors to do this, do that. You know why? Because then nobody else is telling you what to do. You don't have the accountant say, you're paying too much money out, you need to change the plan. We have not made a compensation plan in over 10 years, no change, in over 10 years. Can you believe that? Okay? The guys in our sister company that are making millions of dollars every year, they can tell you the comp plan's always been the same. That's powerful and exciting. Okay? Even though the accountants say, oh, you're paying out too much, because they're reading the red and the black and the red and the black, and that's all they see, right? What we see is people. And because we have nobody on our back, nobody telling us what to do, nobody to pay back, the company's debt-free, guess what we get to do? We made it to 2003 and we celebrated our 1-year anniversary. And boy, did we celebrate. You know, through the challenges of the first year where everybody told us you're not going to make it. You know what? Here is the attitude though. When we got married, you know what they told us? They said, your marriage is not going to last 6 months. You're married because she's 18. Right? You're 20. You're not even old enough to buy a beer. Right? It's not going to last 6 months. Well, Hema just turned 24. And this October we'll celebrate our 25th anniversary. And then in November of 1989, they were like, you joined this pyramid, you're not going to make any money. Chips were against us. 2 young kids that joined some pyramid deal, right? which was what they called network marketing back then, when people didn't get it, right? They didn't understand it. So they said, okay, not only are you guys broke, no jobs, no business, you got a 3-month-old baby, you got married too soon, your marriage was not going to last 6 months, and now you're joining a pyramid deal selling skincare. Right? Chips were against us. Well, guess what? We made a success of that business and our teammates and our family and everybody else, right? Okay? Fortunes were made as that company grew from small to big. And then when we got pushed into starting this company, because of circumstance, right? They told us the same thing. Company's not going to last 3 months, 6 months, right? So in 2003, we celebrated the 1-year anniversary that 99% don't do, right? So you know how excited we were? We were even more excited in 2004 when we celebrated our 2-year anniversary. And then we celebrated our 5-year anniversary. And then our 7-year anniversary. And just this last year, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary. So for those guys that were talking about our business when we started in 1989, talking about our marriage, too young to have babies, that ain't going to work, that ain't going to last, that ain't going to last, and then our company that we started in 2002, we have a message for you. We're all in. We're all in. All right? So here we go. So here we go. And this is the future, and this is what you need to understand. So to us, it's a passion. It's a passion. And our baby now 24 years old, okay, and everything it represents of us building this business for 23 plus years around her, right? Okay? And then we have our son. He's 11 years old. And then we have baby Gigi, who runs the whole house. She's 4 years old, okay? And so it's fun when we go to restaurants and stuff, because I just say, okay, we got small, medium, large, and it's all from the same one wife. The waiters and waitresses are like, whoa, dude. It's like we're having a baby every decade, right? One each decade. But this represents to you growth, okay? We're just getting started. Baby Gigi's 4. You ready for another baby, Abe? No, she's like, you got too many gray hairs and you're balding now, you know. No more babies. But it represents growth. And let me tell you this. We used to have a very big business in London, okay, in the UK, Europe, right? Okay? And there was a big event. And then they had a VIP dinner. And the VIP dinner was 250 people. And we were at a table of 12, right? And everybody's wearing the black tuxedos, and you know, women are wearing the big gowns and everything. So we sat at the table with they're like the advisory board, you know, the leaders in that country, right? And so we were at the table of 12, and there's champagne and beautiful food, and everybody's looking all pretty and everything's nice. And one of the leaders, his name's Ken, okay? And we're talking. He leans over to Amy and he says, you know, and this is what, you know, he says, the company's growing so fast, okay? And things are just so big, and I can see where this is going, okay? And he says, you know, like most businesses, you know, you go public, you go on the stock market. He said, would you ever sell it, right? Because now it's getting successful. Would you ever sell it? Okay. Now, what happened next went around to every meeting, every event for years. They kept repeating this. What Amy Gill did when Ken said that was, without thinking, without turning, without pausing, from the tip of her tongue, she replies to Ken, would you sell your baby? Okay? That was an automatic, $50 million clap. That was what you call a gut reaction, right? Where you didn't even think. It's just like tip of her tongue, boom, right? Ken didn't respond, right? And that's what I want you guys to understand, is that this is not a transaction for us. This is not a billion-dollar opportunity to sell on the stock market. This is not a group of investors. This is not some real estate dude that's trying to make $1 million or $1 billion, okay? This is a passion. This is our baby. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is all Amy Gill has done since she was a 19-year-old kid. This is all Mel Gill has done since he was a 20-year-old kid. Our kids have grown up here, and our daughter's 24 because of this, and the lifestyle, the freedom, and then the thousands of stories around the world every time we go to these events. To us, this is a passion. It's not a transaction. It's not a business. This is our baby. So when she said that to Ken as a gut reaction, it came right out like, oh my gosh, you know? And I don't know, you know, there's great products, great companies, great compensation plans out there, but I don't know where they're at for the future, okay? What I do know is that this is not theory. We've been doing this for 10 plus years. I know where we are at for our future, and that is we have no other option or choice. This is our baby, okay? This is tears, this is heart, this is pain, this is pleasure, this is excitement, this is love, this is passion. This is what we've been able to do. It's unbelievably magical. I mean, I never thought I'd be on stage. I never thought that we'd change these people's lives. I never thought that we could create something that people could do such magnificent things for. It's a true blessing we have in our hands. We have a responsibility that this blessing upon us, that we can give that out there and pass that message out there. So to us, this is our baby. This is our passion. This is it, right? Plus the fact that since I've never had a job, if I don't do this and I go out there with my resume, it's blank. It has nothing on it, right? Can you imagine me at an interview? Have you been on planet Earth for 24 years? There's nothing on here. You haven't done anything. You know, it's like, wow. So, seriously though, this is why this is what it is right now. And for you guys to be here in the room at the first ever West Coast Regional Training. And with the announcements this afternoon, life-changing announcements. I mean, this is going to move your entire business to the next level. Because here's the goal, is that luckily we have a compensation plan where your first check does not have to be $16.84, okay? You can start with a couple of hundred and grow, right? Okay? So we have that, right? And now we get to build upon it. And here's your vision and your beauty that you have, okay? Is the same comp plan that we've used overseas, where so many people have gone from part-time to full-time to big-time. That's the comp plan we're using for 10. And we haven't created the first millionaire with 10 yet. Does anybody want to be that first one? But again, the opportunity is, how big is our industry? 600 billion going to a trillion. Trillion! He loves us now. Alright, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to come back a little bit later. You want me back? Yeah! We're going to have a ton of fun. But I'm gonna bring Pastor Dale up here because you've got some rocking and rolling things happening right now before lunch, and then of course everything that's happening after lunch. But I want to tell you this, is that, you know what, for the rest of the session, just like you've been, you've got to be just like this. And you've got to sit at the edge of your seats, you've got to take the notes, because everything that I shared with you, those were pivotal moments and life-changing experiences on the road to success. And I can tell you this, is that we're just getting started. I'm a student of this business. I learn every day, okay? After 24 years of full-time, would you think that I would say, okay, I'm an expert? Okay? Yeah, I've got the PhD in network marketing. That's there. But I'm telling you what, I learn something new every single day 24 years later, because I learn from you, and we learn from each other, because we're all people, right? And this is a people business, okay? So stay at the edge of your seats. Keep writing those bullet points. Monday morning, you're going to wake up and say, wow, 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 here we go, here we go, here we go, here's my team, we're going to go, we're going to do this. So I'm going to give you some more business building type tips that are going to happen later on this afternoon as well. But you got to grab it all, because there's so much being poured at you. But I want you to grab the vision, and I want you to be all a part of it. So again, welcome to the 10 family, and thanks everybody for being here.
Says, are we all in? Yeah. Now, did he lay that story out? 10 years, all in. 10 years into our 11th year. Do we have longevity in our future? Absolutely. It's an exciting time, guys, and I'm telling you, we are really excited about what's happening now. We're getting ready to do something really, really special here. I'm telling you, we heard about this. We hear about this, we talk about this in the game plans and the comp plan, and I'm telling you, there are people that are just going to be livid. They're going to jump up out of their seats, and it is going to be powerful what we're getting ready to do here. I want you to turn your attention to the screen here. We have a short video here that's just going to talk about something really, really important. You ready? Yeah! You sure you're ready? Yeah! Here we go. Wow! Wow! Now, we've talked about the car program. We talked about how many people can qualify for the car program. Do you know we have the best and easiest luxury car qualifying program in the market? Did you know that? Yeah. Listen, I tell people all the time when we do our compensation plan, I say, listen, if you find a better compensation plan, luxury car program in this industry, I'll give you $100. Now, I've done this compensation. We do a TTP meeting. We started out doing 1 a week. Then we went to 2 a week. And now we're doing 5 a week. All right? And every single time I say, if you find a luxury car program that's better than ours, let me know. I'll give you $100. I have never had anybody come to me and say, we got a better one. I'm not talking about giving away a Ford Focus. We're talking about a luxury car program. All right? And so I'm telling you, we have it here at Team Effort Network. You have the ability to do it, qualify for it, and the great thing about it is once you qualify for it, you don't have to come back every month and sponsor 15 new people to stay qualified for it. That's the great thing about what we have. When you qualify for it, it's yours. And so I'm going to have our CEO come right back up, and he's going to talk to us about the car program here at my, well, you were saying my name, At 10. Team F Network. Now you know what my history is, right? So, Madeline and Gill, one more time.
Let's go back.
All right. Gosh, I got to, after hearing Mel, I'm ready to join back again in the business. Was that incredible? All right, you guys ready? As I said, we're just getting started here. But we're so excited about the next portion of the event here right now, because 10 is our new baby division. And I love it. You know, it really was like that. When Mel shares what happened in London, it was like that. This is our baby. This, like Mel said, not a transaction. This is what we do. This is our passion. We don't have some silent board of directors or silent partners. I mean, many of you, if you've been involved in a company, whether it's direct selling or network marketing or not, have you ever had that happen where somebody goes, introduces, well, this is my silent partner, or this is the man behind the man. And you know what? That's a really important factor. There's none of that. And so with our new baby division, 10, we already have, let me ask anybody, did anybody see a couple of Mercedes and BMWs in front? This is insane. I mean, we are like at the very beginning of this pre-launch stage of the new division for 10. I mean, pre-launch. And it's exciting because the tip of the iceberg, we're just getting started. It's been going so amazing, so fast, quickly already, the way the pre-launches. Because, you know, most pre-launches, I gotta say, if any of you have been involved in network marketing, most pre-launches don't launch. They just don't work. And so, you know, it's an exciting thing when you can go to market, and already in the early stages, we already have 2 individuals taking advantage. And so you probably maybe seen, heard, but we have a little special ceremony we want to do, and then want to bring them up here. But first, let's start with, we've got some special little, now, a couple of other qualifiers that are part of the LCQ that couldn't make it, and one of them, of course, John Peavy. So just for that, we're going to kind of modify this just right now for our 2 car club qualifiers for the LCQ who actually have gone their cars that we're so proud of. So 1 second.
This is very, very important to understand, because when we talk about having a vision, okay, is understanding where this is going forward. Because there's a company actually right now that sells these weight loss shakes, right? Okay, you know, you go from here to here, right? And it's a good company, and they're growing very fast. And they started out with this BMW program, and they were giving out like one every like 6 months or something like that. Somebody would qualify for it. Well, it's grown and grown, where it went from one every 6 months to like one every month that was getting the car. And then it was like, wow, one a week, new guy was getting a car, right? Now they're doing more than one a day, right? Now, I can tell you our products I like our products better, so I'll be biased and say we got better products. But we have a better comp plan as well. And we have a company that has this type of mission and passion that's just getting started. And to say that we've already got 2 qualifiers here today that have their cars outside, okay? And then as we grow right now from here to go to a month, to a week, to a day, to an hour, okay? And I believe the way our comp plan is designed and the LCQ program is designed, it's the simplest, most straightforward, cleanest, okay, reward, dream car, drive your dream program in the entire network marketing industry. No question about it. Because look, we haven't even gotten started, and we have a couple of cars outside. The company's just, we haven't even got going. You know what I'm saying?
So with that, you know what, I tell you, our CFO says, he's like, you guys, you understand, you have the easiest car program in the industry. So we're really proud of that, and it means you're building your business, building your residual income, building your monthly, and that's an important part of it. But let's, with that, wow, these are cool looking, yeah. Oh, let's see. Wow. Who wants a golden key? All right, so today we've got 2 keys. The very beginning. How many people in this room want their golden key next?
Over November to get their golden key.
Yeah, how many people in November get that golden key? So I'd like to present the key. We're really proud. Those of you who've already gotten you've seen maybe, but really proud if you haven't. It is my honor to bring up two very special, important leaders.